A T-sheet template determines how you would like the T-sheet displayed in your Jonas system. The T-sheet templates program allows you to create new templates from scratch, make edits to existing templates, as well as combine existing templates into one. Here is an example of a T-sheet. Now let's take a look at how to create a T-sheet template. To create a T-sheet template, navigate to T-time Management, Files, and T-sheet Templates. Then go ahead and select your club. To create a new template, select Set up a new template, or select an existing template to make edits to it. Note that if you are using this program to modify a template, the changes will be permanent. If this is a new setup, enter a template code. It is a good idea to include the start time and type of T-sheet in the description. So for example, if this is a regular T-sheet and the start time is 7 a.m., you can name the template 7 a.m. T-sheet. You also can add a description, so we can do a more detailed description here. Next, you want to select your template type. And your options include T times for regular bookings only, shotgun start for your shotgun bookings, where everybody starts on the same hole at the same time, double start for double start bookings, so for example, players start on both the 1st and 10th holes, and this would be used for a crossover template. Custom to require manual input for all data, including screen layout, T-sheet banks, and starting times, or a combination template, which is used to combine existing templates. We're going to go ahead and use the T times. Then you'll want to specify the players per bank, where you can select the maximum number of players who would be playing in a group for that day. Below that, you have your T-sheet layout. Examples of layouts are shown in brackets next to each choice. We use the word bank to describe the layout/display of the grid. So for example, a 1-bank layout could be used for an 18 or 9-hole course, and a 2-bank layout can be used for 2 courses, or the 1st and 10th tee of a single course. As you change your layouts, the sample T-sheet displayed below that will be updated to reflect your change. On the right-hand side of the screen, you have a Quick Build button. You'll use this button to quickly set up the tee times and configure your template. In the T-sheet Parameters tab, you can go ahead and specify the Quick Build format. Then you can go ahead and enter the start and end time for the day. This defines the range of times that will be created. The round duration will be disabled by the T times format. Here you can enter the anticipated time it will take for one group to play 18 holes of golf in hours and minutes. Then you'll want to define your starting times interval, which is the time in between groups. Staggered tee times. Enable if this template is to have staggered tee times. These are used to have your tee times start and end on the hour. So for example, if your interval between groups is 8 minutes starting at 6 a.m., then your times would run 6 o'clock, 6:08, 6:16, etc. With staggered times, the sequence would alternate 8 minutes/7 minutes/8 minutes. So for example, 6 o'clock, 6:08, 6:15, and back and forth. If you are using crossovers, the crossover time will be calculated based on the first tee time and the starting times interval. Crossovers are used to reserve tee time slots for players who have started somewhere else on the course, like the 10th hole in a double start, who will then cross over to the first tee time when they have finished playing their first 9 holes, so 10th through the 18th hole. The same applies to players who have started on the first tee time and finished their first 9 holes. They would be crossing over to the 10th tee to continue their round. How long a round duration you have indicated determines the times when the crossover should occur. Use golf course shotgun parameters. This feature is enabled by the shotgun start format. Select this field to have the parameters defined in the golf course be used. If enabled, you can specify the golf course. Number of groups on golf course. This will be disabled if you enable the Use Golf Course Shotgun parameters. Here you can enter the total number of groups who will participate in a shotgun start at any one time. Next, you want to switch over to your bank parameters. Note that you cannot switch this tab until you have specified the start and end times on this screen, as well as the starting times interval settings. The number of bank parameter tabs that you see across the top here will be dependent on the layout choice you chose. Note that the settings found here can be adjusted using the buttons on the right-hand side of the screen from the main window, and most of them are set on a tea time by tea time basis. However, in this tab here, you can set the general settings for the template. So here you want to use this tab to indicate the number of holes in the course and include a bank description. So for example, your front 9 or back 9. The GPS golf course assignment is optional and relates the bank name to the one used in the GPS interface software. You can go ahead and enter the whole number, and you can also choose to optionally show the whole number in the column display. The column display allows you to add text below the tee time with a max of 6 characters. This will display on the main reservation screen and can be used to indicate whole numbers, memos, etc. to people taking reservations. For example, this can be used to indicate the shotgun hole number. Column highlight, if set to yes, allows you to adjust the background color as well as the text color for your tee times. For the starter time, set to yes if there are starter times for your tee sheet and specify if reservations are allowed for 18 and 19 hole bookings. Bank crosses over to bank. If this is a double start template, choose the bank you want this bank to cross over to. Note that you must choose different or unique bank numbers to avoid a warning message telling you you have multiple crossovers pointing to the same bank number. Online access will only be enabled if your Jonas system is integrated with Clubhouse Online or a Jonas provider WebEx service. Use this field to specify if time slots on tee sheets will be shown online or not. Member/public display. These will only be enabled when online access is set to displayed online or Clubhouse Online only. Use these fields to control whether or not club members or members of the public via guest or public login are shown the tee times. Reciprocal display. Enabled only when online access is set to displayed online or Clubhouse Online only. Use this field to control the access to the tee times by the Clubhouse Online E3/Reciprocal Club Network interface. Click the Build Tee Times button to build the template once you're ready. So a pop-up will confirm the number of tee times that will be merged into the template based on the parameter set, and if you would like to proceed. The sample tee sheet will then update on the main screen. On the right-hand side of the screen, you also have the ability to click Import Times, which will allow you to pull times from an existing template into this template. You can use the top set of buttons found here to edit aspects of the tee time offered by the template. Each screen shares similar characteristics, and edits made in any one of the buttons will be reflected in all the button screens. You can either edit the template using these individual buttons, or use the Export button to make all the edits within one screen. Let's start by looking at each individual button. First is the tee sheet display. Use this button to adjust display details for individual tee times. The following options will appear on all these button windows for you, including the number of holes, description, GPS course assignment, tee time, where if needed, you can go ahead and click the New Tee Time button to add a new tee time, or right-click on an existing tee time to remove it. Multiple tee times can be selected by holding down the Control key on your keyboard, or by utilizing the Shift key. Then you have hole number as well, where you can right-click and choose to set a new value to this hole, and click Enter. Specifically for the tee sheet display window, you can adjust the column display, column highlight, background, and text color for each tee time by right-clicking on the applicable cell and making your changes. Once you're done, go ahead and click OK to save. Next, you have restrictions. Use this button to adjust the restrictions for individual tee times. These restrictions include if the tee time is a starter time, and if reservations are allowed for 18 and 19 hole bookings. Below that is crossovers. Use this button to make any required adjustments to the crossover settings for individual tea times. Online display will only be enabled if your Jonas system is integrated with Clubhouse Online or Jonas Web Services. Use this button to establish the behavior of how tea time slots are shown online when running Clubhouse Online or third-party system. For Expert, you can use this button to edit all settings found in the 4 buttons found above that. As you use this screen, you can optionally choose to hide or show columns that you don't need to see. The combination button is enabled when the template type is set to combination. This allows you to select templates that will be combined with an option of adding up to 4 secondary templates into one primary. Once you've made all your adjustments, go ahead and click OK to save your template. You can optionally use the Save As button after opening a template to create a copy if you like. Now that you've created the T-sheet template, you can assign it to a golf course. We can do so by navigating over to Tea Time Management, Files, and Golf Courses. Go ahead and select your club, then select the applicable golf course. Then we can go ahead and use the default T-sheet template field and the F2 lookup list to assign our T-sheet template. The default template will appear at the top of the list when you are opening a T-sheet in the Tea Time Reservations program. You can optionally click T-sheet Schedules from the right-hand side of the screen, select a line number, and set a T-sheet template for every day of the week. This will override the default from the main screen and put this T-sheet at the top of the list when you're opening a T-sheet for that specific day of the week. Then click OK, and OK to save. To view and select your T-sheet template, navigate to Tea Time Management, Processing, and Tea Time Reservations. Select your club and click OK. Next, you're going to click the Open T-sheet button on the right-hand side of the screen. Select an empty date to open your T-sheet. Then use the either Open Multiple T-sheets or Open an individual T-sheet and specify the template you'd like to use. Then go ahead and click Create T-sheet.